Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching the Yes Network, the home of champions.
It has been a gorgeous day here in New York City, and we expect a great night as well at the new Yankee Stadium. A big crowd expected, young and old, as the Yankees go up against a team that they might see in the postseason. Tonight, the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the LA Angels of Anaheim in the only game of a makeup series from earlier in the year. This is a battle for the best record in the American League. Yankees are 4 games ahead of the Angels in the all-important loss column. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees Baseball along with John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. Yes, we might see this matchup maybe in the ALCS. They will not meet in the first round of the playoffs the way things are right now. Now, the Yankees have not had much success against the Angels. So far this year, they've only taken 2 of 6. The Angels have outscored them, outhit them, and outpitched them. And this is nothing new. Since 2000, Angels 49-38 against the Yankees. They have this game, John. They have 3 games in Anaheim. You're battling for the best record. Also, I think you need the peace of mind to know you could beat this team.
You're right. You want that confidence going into postseason play, that you feel good about the Angels, that you can beat them. They do a lot of things right. They run the bases aggressively. They exploit a lot of the Yankees' weaknesses. We'll see if they can finish up strong against them.
Now, one thing the Yankees have going for them tonight is the red-hot bat of Hideki Matsui. Yesterday, he was on fire, John.
Well, he was. He had a base hit, a couple RBIs on a base hit to right field. But in the 8th inning, he broke the game open. Home run number 24. Left on left, Hideki Matsui staying through the field. Had a big game yesterday, 5 RBIs, and he's heating up at the right time.
Look at the last 24 games, 323, 7 homers, 28 ribbies. He has 24 homers, 1 more, and he ties Don Baylor for the most as a DH for the New York Yankees. Jabba Chamberlain will try to shut down a potent Angel offense. How many innings will he get? And is he in the Yankees' postseason plans? We'll talk to John about that next on Yes. Pitching matchup. Angels send their best. Jared Weaver, 15-5, 3.76 against the Yankees. Jabba Chamberlain, 8-5 with a 4.45 ERA. This is what Jabba has done in his last 5 starts. It's not impressive. 0-3, 18 innings, 29 hits, 18 runs. He's walked 9 and struck out 13. And the pitches per start, 90, 96, 35, 59, and 55. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Yankees Baseball. That's John Flaherty. I'm Michael Kay. So Jabba Chamberlain starts tonight. and he has a couple more starts after that as they try to build him up to a level that would be useful in the playoffs. But the question, John, is, you think Jabba starts in the first round?
I don't think he does, and this is kind of a tough question. The Yankees are hoping they have home field advantage. If they do in the first round, they're not going to need 4 starters. Jabba Chamberlain will be in the bullpen. And then the question is, where does he fit in the bullpen? Is he a long reliever? Does he pitch the 7th inning? These are things that we're going to find out when we get to postseason play.
Now, if they have the best record in the American League, John, they have the choice to choose 1 day off or 2 days off. If they take the 2 days off, they don't need Jabba. So you think they take the 2 days off?
I would think they take the 2 days off.
But then they might have to face Verlander in games 1 and 4.
It'd be an interesting decision.
Really tough
I see
decision.
Jabba in the bullpen.
Lineups, first pitch baseball coming up next right here on Yes. This is brought to you in part by Raymore and Flanagan, furnishing your style with guaranteed delivery in 3 days or less. And by Honda. Come see what's new for 2010 today at your Honda dealer. Beautiful evening here in the Bronx. The Yankees have taken the field. Jabba's taking his warm-ups. And we'll take a look at the Angels starting lineup, which is presented by our good friends at BMW. Leading off for the Angels, noted Yankee killer Sean Figgins at third. Meister Asturis, the second baseman, bat second. Former Yankee Bobby Abreu's in right field. He'll hit third. Cleaning up and DHing Vladimir Guerrero. Torrey Hunter will play center field. He has a 9-game hitting streak. He'll bat fifth. Batting sixth and playing first base, Kendry Morales. Juan Rivera's in left field. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing shortstop, Eric Ibar. And Jeff Mathis will catch, and he's going to bat ninth.
The Angels are going to go to work against Jabba Chamberlain. We'll look at the numbers. It'll be his 28th start of the year, 8-5 with a 4.5 ERA. And we'll take a look at our Jeep pitcher scouting report. He needs to pick up the pace a little bit. The last 2 outings of his last start were much better. Mechanically, he had a better rhythm, so we look for the same thing tonight. And maybe back to the beginning, he's given up first-inning runs in his last 3 starts. You remember at the beginning of the year, Jabba Chamberlain had a tough time coming out of the bullpen, and he'll have 4 more chances to impress Dave Island, the pitching coach, Joe Girardi, to see what his role will be in postseason play.
Well, Jabba is ready. And job one is to keep Sean Figgins off the base paths. Figgins having a big year, and it's going to pay off for him. He's a free agent at the end of the season. A lot of teams will want to put him on the roster. So Figgins is ready, and Jabba is ready, and let's do it here in the Bronx as the big right-hander deals. And the pitch is low and away, and we are underway.
Mentioned Jabba in his last start gave up a couple of runs in the first inning, and then the second and third were much better. His pace, his rhythm was a lot more aggressive.
IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. There's a strike in the count, 2-1. Now his last start, he struggled in the first inning. Then was struggling again in the next inning, and Derek Jeter came over and I wouldn't say read him the riot act, but talked sternly to Jabba Chamberlain, and he kind of picked it up after that. I asked Joe Girardi, John, do you know what Jeter said? You know what? I don't. He said, but Derek sometimes does that. He said, and I love players doing that.
Yeah, whatever he said at work, like I said, the pace picked up. It was almost like he was coming out of the bullpen from a few years ago. Really aggressive, challenging, forcing contact.
There's a ground ball to second. Cano will get Higgins for the first out. Hey, let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. In words, it's beautiful. In numbers, it's 75 degrees, 53% humidity. The wind is slight, and the forecast is for clear skies. Jorge Posada doing some groundskeeping. And there's a strike to Meiser Astros.
See a lot of these Angels hitters come up to the plate. High batting average, 287 as a team. That's first in the American League.
And another strike.
They get on base a lot. Don't have a lot of power. Bobby Abreu coming back to the Bronx on deck. 153 home runs, 8th in the league. They steal a lot of bases and high on-base percentage club.
That one is dribbled slowly up the first baseline, and Jabba will let it roll. Now, John mentioned the 287 batting average, more impressive, and this is the best number in the major leagues. They're a 301 team with runners in scoring position, so they jack it up. The first 8 hitters in the lineup tonight are hitting over 291. A lot of people in baseball giving a lot of credit to that man, Mickey Hatcher, the batting coach. More of a guy getting the right frame of mind than a mechanical type of hitting coach, although he does that, but he makes his hitters feel good about things.
Well, Bobby Abreu getting a lot of credit too, coming over here kind of at that patient approach. It seems to have rubbed off on the other hitters in the lineup, working the count a little bit better, and the numbers are there to prove it.
Check swing. Did he go? No, he did not. Let's take a look at all of the umpires. That's Bill Miller, the third base ump. Home plate ump is Darryl Cousins. Jim Joyce at first. Greg Gibson at second. And we already met Bill Miller. Hot shot to Cano. He gets another try. 2 outs. Well, we've already seen Cano. Let's check out the entire Yankee defense. In the outfield, you've got Johnny Damon at left, Melky Cabrera at center, and Nick Swisher over and right. In the infield is Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, and Mark Teixeira. That's third to first. And Posada behind the plate. With Chamberlain on the mound, they played good defense so far this year. You know, we saw the umpires yesterday. The Yankees, after the game, were still fired up about home plate umpire Marty Foster. Joe Girardi was thrown out. Alex Rodriguez was thrown out. And Alex actually pointed out that Marty Foster was the guy who told Derek Jeter to get off the field after throwing him out for arguing what Foster said. Well, the throw beat, you don't have to be tagged a play at third base. And Alex said, I wonder what he has against the Yankees.
Yeah, I think what was disappointing in that ball game, Marty Foster, the home plate umpire, I mean, you give Alex Rodriguez a benefit of the doubt. Thought he had a quick hook.
And that was Joe Girardi's complaint. You know, warn the guy. He said, then if he keeps it up, then you throw him out. He said, but he threw him out immediately. And Foster said, well, I let him argue at home plate. And then he kept arguing the next inning from the dugout. There's the strike. Bobby Abreu signed with the Angels for a very economical $5 million. Did not have a lot of money out there. No one was climbing over themselves to sign Abreu. So he signed a deal a lot less than he had been making over the previous couple of years, and it's paid off for the Angels. Last year with the Yankees, he made $16 million. So this year, kind of ate crow a little bit and signed a $5 million deal.
Well, he's having a Bobby Abreu year, 300. He's going to have 100 RBIs again. 28 stolen bases on the year, and the Angels have loved what he's added to this offense. I mean, the numbers are there, RBIs, but he also brings a level of patience, has good at bats. Yankee fans will remember that from the last couple of years.
High fly ball. Shallow center. Melky Cabrera is there. And an impressive 1-2-3 inning for Jabba Chamberlain. Does a nice job retiring the Angels in order. So they go down 1-2-3. It's the Angels nothing. And the New York Yankees coming to bat. Against Jared Weaver, the Yankees starting lineup presented by BMW. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second and playing left field, Johnny Damon. Mark Teixeira's at first, Hill at third. Cleaning up and playing third is Alex Rodriguez. Hideki Matsui DHs will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Robinson Cano at second will bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing right field, Nick Swisher. And Melky Cabrera, who's been red hot over the last 2 weeks, will be in center field will bat ninth.
The Yankees are going to face the Angels' #1 pitcher, Jared Weaver. It'll be his 30th start. The number's outstanding. 15-5, 3.76 ERA. We'll look at our G pitcher scouting report. He has become the young ace and taken over. John Lackey would have been considered the ace, battled some arm problems, and now Weaver's the guy. Has 50 career wins and only 106 starts for the Angels. Impressive numbers. And look out for Alex Rodriguez if you're Jared Weaver. Outstanding numbers, 5 for 13, and 4 of those hits are home runs. So Weaver might want to pitch around Alex tonight.
Weaver certainly has cut the hair quite a bit. He's got long flowing blonde locks like his brother Jeff, but now it's all tight around the back. Still has a little bit of a soul patch going on. Derek Jeter will start it off against Weaver. Jeter's hitting .362 in the first inning this year. And .332 overall. And a strike.
Talking to Joe Girardi before the ballgame about Weaver, he said, you know, if you watch a guy throw on the side, he won't really impress you. He doesn't light up the radar gun. Throws across his body a little bit, hides the ball. A lot tougher out on the mound than he is when he throws in the bullpen, and you see where he lands. Going to throw across his body, hides the ball with his left shoulder, tough to pick up.
Driven out into right center field, giving chase Torrey Hunter on the run and a late to play for the first out.
You're Derek Jeter, you want to keep the ball away from Torrey Hunter in center field. Their Gold Glover pretty much every year. An easy play for him going to his left on the track. Not running as well as he did when he was a younger man, but an easy play as he glides underneath it on the warning track.
That'll bring up Johnny Damon. 8 consecutive Gold Gloves for Hunter. He can run him down in center field. And the pitch to Damon is a strike. Way out in front of that off-speed pitch. Well, the sentiment is direct. Doesn't want anything else. Wants a home run. Not that time. As Johnny strikes out and Mathis fires to Morales, so it's a strikeout. Put out is 2-3. Let's take a look at the entire Angels defensive schematic. In the outfield, you've got Juan Rivera in left, Torrey Hunter you've already met, Bobby Bray in right, Biggins, Ibar, Izturis, and Morales third to first. Mathis behind the plate, and Weaver on the mound. And Weaver certainly has good defensive support so far this year. Here's Mark Teixeira. Mark finished last year with the Angels. They tried to sign him. They didn't get it done. Seemed like he wanted to come back to the East Coast. And he's having a good season. The guy who replaced him is having a good season as well, Kendry Morales. That one is drilled down the right field line. It is a base hit. One hop up against the wall. Abreu fields and fires it quickly. And a good throw into second base, holding Teixeira to a single.
Well, this is a pitch that left-handed hitters are going to see a lot of. Mathis setting up inside. You see a little cut on the fastball. And Mark Teixeira drops the bat head and gets to the spot, drills it to right field. Thinking about a double. Bobby Abreu does a nice job playing it off the wall on the hop. And then a strong throw into second base to hold Mark to a base hit. Quality play right here. Gives himself enough room to field the hop. Then comes up with a nice strong throw.
So Abreu, who patrolled right field across the street at the old Yankee Stadium, does a good job with right field here. And here's Alex Rodriguez. Hot shot. Foul. Alex 9 hits in his last 18 at-bats and 16 for 33. Look what he's done his last 20 games, 427.
Well, he's hot at the right time, getting hot at the end of the year in the middle of September, and he's got good numbers against Weaver in his career. Expect him to have a good night. And first swing he took, he was all over the curveball.
The 0-1. 1-1. Yankees have taken 2 out of 3 here at the stadium. You see what Alex has done against Weaver. 5 of the hits, or 4 of the 5 hits are home runs. And then the low point of the Yankee season, I think, was when they got swept by the Angels in Anaheim, right before the All-Star break. They were in a first-place tie. They came back 3 games out, not feeling good about things. They just didn't perform well. And you were at that series, John. It just didn't look like they were a together team.
No, they were struggling a little bit. And you know, you talk about the Angels. They run the bases well. They're very aggressive. They kind of exploit your weakness defensively if you have any. They play solid defense, 3rd in the league. They're just a good team. Mike Scioscia's teams are very fundamentally sound. They played well in that series.
High fly ball. Bobby Abreu is there. And that's going to do it here in the first. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 1 at the stadium. It's the Angels nothing and the Yankees nothing on Yes. Schedule. 2 games against the Blue Jays tomorrow and Wednesday night. Tomorrow's on My 9, then Wednesday on Yes. And that little plane that flew by, the Yankees will get on that on Thursday, an off day, and fly out to Seattle. Friday and Saturday night at 10 on Yes, and Sunday at 4. And after that series, they head to Anaheim for a 3-game set against these very same Angels. So Jabba works a 1-2-3 first inning, and that'll bring up Vladimir Guerrero. Pitch inside. Angels, no hits. The Yankees picked up a hit by Mark Teixeira in the bottom of the first.
We talked how Bobby Abreu has rubbed off on the rest of the Angels lineup, working counts a little bit better. This guy, Vladimir Guerrero, not in that same league. He goes up there hacking, only 13 home runs. And some injury problems at the beginning of the year, coming back, trying to find his swing. Throw it up there, he's ready to hit. You see the eyes light up, a slider down out of the zone.
The 1-2. Free agent at the end of the year. In all likelihood, the Angels do not bring him back. Sean Figgins also a free agent. They'd like to bring him back, but they will not overpay. They're going to set a limit, and they'll see if the player wants it. I'm not sure if they want Guerrero back. He's starting to get older.
Yeah, he's starting to break down a little bit, but if you look year by year, it's been a very impressive signing for the Angels. I mean, they got to be happy with the production that they have gotten out of him through the years. This year, a little bit down. The injury's starting to creep up, but he's been a solid sign.
That one is drilled deep to left field. There it goes. See ya. A long home run for Vladimir Guerrero, and the Angels lead 1-0.
Joe Girardi looking on. When you go over a scouting report on how to get Vladimir Guerrero out, you talk about not throwing any strikes. First pitch fastball misses inside. A fastball, a good pitch to hit, fouled off. Slider down out of the zone, fouls it off, and he misses with a fastball away. And here's another fastball up, another good swing, and that's just a hanging curveball. Jabba knew it right away. So did Vladimir Guerrero, home run number 14, and the Angels are on the board.
Hunter swings and misses.
Talk about how to pitch him. Don't throw him anything. Bounce some strikes. Throw some fastballs up out of the zone. Just a mistake by Jabba.
Well, there was no doubt about that one. And Vlad Guerrero has gotten a haircut. A lot of hair is cut. Used to have the long dreads. Gone now.
First home run for Guerrero in the month of September. I mentioned he's been struggling a little bit. The Angels would love for him to get hot at the right time.
Good pitch, strike on the outside corner. Let's take a look at Vlad's swing on the IOTV HD Super Shot.
Tremendous extension. That's what you're supposed to do with a hanging slider. It sounds so easy too, Michael. You know, just don't throw him a strike. Bounce a slider, throw the fastball up out of the zone. A lot easier said than done.
Did he go? Yes, he did. So Hunter is down on strikes. He doesn't think so.
Corey trying to plead his case. We're going to get another look from the side, and it looks like he swung. First base umpire Jim Joyce makes the call. Definitely a swing. A good slider by Jabba as well. Down and away. Good finish.
There's a strike to Kendry Morales. Morales has stepped in and filled in nicely for Mark Teixeira. There's a ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit.
Might be the biggest understatement of the year, how well he's done filling in for Mark Teixeira. I mean, Triple Crown numbers, leading the Angels in all three categories: batting average, home runs, and RBIs. Maybe a blessing in disguise. They saved a lot of money. Mark Teixeira came here to New York. It worked out for him. And Morales doing a great job for the Angels. Talk about him in the MVP race.
Now, John mentioned earlier how aggressive the Angels are, and they will put pressure on the defense. And I guess the best way to explain it is a college basketball team that presses constantly. They call it 94 feet of hell. Well, that's kind of the baseball version the Angels do. Now, the Angels go first to third this year 108 times. That's number one in the major leagues. They're going to force you to make that throw. They're going to force your outfielder to make the perfect throw. There's a ground ball to third. Alex goes to first to get Juan Rivera, and Morales moves to second.
Well, they also do the same thing trying to steal bases. They're second in the league in stolen bases, but they're first in being caught stealing bases. And they just come out and say, we're going to do this, and you have to try to stop us. Mike Scioscia, a catcher in his day, he knows how that running game can be so distracting. They get thrown out a lot, but they take a lot of attention away from that pitcher and catcher.
Here's Eric Ibar with a runner on second. 2 men out.
You know, Mike, these are the at-bats that you think about the Angels right here. The 2-out RBI situations. You expect Ibar to have a good at-bat right here. I mentioned they don't have a lot of power, but they have great timely hitting. You expect a good at-bat right here. It might not be a base hit and RBI, but it should be a quality at-bat.
Snap throw to second base, and Morales gets back. I'll give you the number again, 301 with runners in scoring position. That's the best in the majors.
Well, Jorge Posada with the Angels coming in, you know you have to have your gun ready to go. He shows it off. Good strong throw. Morales gets a good secondary lead. Derek Jeter coming behind. The Angels, one of the toughest teams. You have to finish off the inning. Do a great job hitting with 2 outs, having quality at bats with 2 outs.
There's a strike from Chamberlain, and the count 2-1. With 2 outs and runners in scoring position, Ibar hitting .316, overall .302, so he ups his game. .27 of Ibar's 53 ribbies have come with 2 outs. There's a ground ball and a nice backhand there by Cano, so they do get the big out. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. The 1 run came on 1 swing, a 2-2 pitch, redirected by Vladimir Guerrero. His first home run in the month of September, 14th overall, 1-0 Angels. Tonight's question is, in what area do the Yankees have the most significant advantage over the Angels this season? Your choices are 1 offense, 2 defense, 3 starting pitching, 4 bullpen. You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. I would vote 4. Yankee bullpen is better than the Angel bullpen. Scott Shields is out for the season with an injury, and he's so important. Brian Fuentes done a nice job closing. Hits the Matsui, is up and in 1-0. 1-0 Angels on Guerrero's home run.
Joe Girardi has to be happy with the production he's gotten out of Hideki Matsui. Just a little bit over 400 at bats, 24 and 81, and 5 of those RBIs yesterday. Hideki deserves a lot of credit for having a big year. Joe Girardi deserves credit for keeping him on the field and relatively healthy. Obviously found his nice little routine as a designated hitter.
And he walks on 4 pitches from me. Here's Posada. 4 of his last 18, hitting .283. There was a game on August 14th. The Yankees played the Mariners. The beginning of the game was rain delayed. The game started at 10:10 on a Friday night, and it ended at 1:03. And I remember toward the end of the game, I said, I'd like to know the people that stayed up to watch the whole thing. And a lot of people have written me letters, and this one gentleman sent me a note. He said that he and his brother watch every game from start to finish. And his brother watched the end of that game, proceeded to go upstairs to his bedroom, and he fell at least 10 steps down the stairs. His wife called the ambulance. They rushed him to Robert Woods Hospital in Brunswick, New Jersey. He had brain and head trauma. He had surgery, and he's in critical condition. He's finally showing some good signs now. And his name is Jim Eccleston of Manalapan, New Jersey, and we send out our best wishes. So this guy's a big Yankee fan. The game's on in his hospital room, and he stayed up that night and fell down the steps and hurt himself.
Well, good to hear that he's showing some positive signs.
Yeah, we need all of our viewers to stay healthy. You don't want to lose ratings like that.
Putting in a late night, too. I was working that game on the West Coast.
No, that was here.
That was here?
That was here. It was like a 3-hour rain delay at the start. The 2-2. Grounded towards short. Ibar to Asturias. On to first. It's a double play. So 2 outs as Weaver gets himself a twin killing. And that's going to bring up Robinson Cano.
The Angels playing some good baseball. They got a tough road trip ahead of them coming in tonight. Play 1 game against the Yankees, then they're going to head up to Boston. A couple of games up there, and then on to Texas. So 3 ball clubs in the pennant chase.
You know, we keep talking about Texas being in the wild card chase with the Red Sox, and the Red Sox keep winning their games. But they're also still in it for first place in the West. It's going to be difficult. But Texas is 5 games behind, or 6 games behind the Angels. There you see it. But they're 7 games up with them. So as long as you have more games, or the equal amount of games that you are behind, technically you have your fate in your hands. So if Texas sweeps out the Angels, which is going to be very difficult, then they could catch them. So they're not beyond catching them.
Well, Texas has done a nice job against the Angels this year, so they have a lot of confidence playing against them. Mike Scioscia said, you know, we got to treat this like any other road trip, but he knows it's important. Take it 1 game at a time. Don't look ahead.
Driven the other way by Cano. slice this foul. Really drove that a long way.
You know, Michael, I've always been a Mike Scioscia fan, obviously, for the work he did behind the plate as a player with the Dodgers, but as a manager. And his teams always seem to be prepared. They always seem to be confident. And I had a great conversation with Mark Teixeira today. He said he enjoyed his time over there last year. He felt like Mike Scioscia and his coaching staff were very positive, instilled a lot of confidence in the players.
Shattered bat and a ground ball to Ibar over to Morales, and that's going to do it. In the second, no runs and no hits, no errors, and nobody left. On a impaled bat as we go to the third, 1-0 Angels. Closer to a playoff spot, you can catch every inning with live Yes Network games on your PCs and laptops. If you're a Verizon Fios TV customer with Fios Internet who watches Yes, log on to YesNetwork.com, Yankees.com, or Verizon.net/Yes to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Nightfall in New York City as Jeff Mathis leads off against Jabba Chamberlain. On the Modell scoreboard, it's 1-0 Angels. Modell's the official sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. Mike Napoli, the regular catcher, in a terrible slump for the Angels. One of the reasons Jeff Mathis in the lineup.
2 for 38.
That's a bad slump.
That's a rough patch. Jeff Mathis, an outstanding defensive catcher. Got a little pop, 5 home runs.
Popped up. And Cano makes the play. All right, John, what do you think about Java so far?
You know, he looks good. I think his stuff is pretty good. The slider has been outstanding. I'm a little disappointed in that I thought his rhythm on the mound would be a little bit quicker and more aggressive. 40 pitches already. You wonder how far he's going to go. Maybe 4 innings tonight. We'll see how Joe Girardi plays it. So I guess to answer your question, he looks pretty good. He made one mistake to Guerrero. But I was looking forward to seeing that rhythm a little bit quicker tonight. It's kind of been that little more time in between pitches, dragging a little bit.
Here's Sean Figgins. And a strike. Sean Figgins this year has been on base 256 times. Hits, walks, hit by pitches. That's a lot of times on base. In fact, it's more times than any player in the American League. Pretty good for a leadoff guy, and he could play anywhere. They have him at third. He could play anywhere. He could play the outfield, shortstop second, play some first, although he's a little small for first. He's a very, very valuable player.
Well, he's always been a good player. I mean, a productive offensive player. You mentioned, Michael, how versatile he is. He can play all over the place. But this year, his on-base percentage is better. Working counts a little bit better, and not afraid to hit with 2 strikes. Been a big difference for him.
Popped up left field, Johnny Damon. Let's check out tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios. This is Fios, this is big. Roy Halladay working on an extra day rest. And remember, he one-hit the Yankees last time he faced them, 14-9, 3.03. Sergio Mitre will go for the Yanks, 3-2, 7.02. And the game's on my 9, so our coverage will begin at 7. And there's a strike to Asturias. Johnny Damon fakes the throw into the outfield after yesterday having a little bit of a brain cramp. That allowed a run to score, though, and you can laugh about it because the Yankees won the game 13-3. But at the time, that made it 3-1. Joe Girardi told him after the game, listen, don't let it ruin your night. You've had a great season, and you know these things happen. It's happened to me.
See, he was fighting the sun, battling, relieved that he made the catch, and then kind of lost track. CC Sabathia was all over, and by the time the throw came in, he was able to tag up from second base.
Johnny said the year after he had the concussion with the Red Sox, he said he must have forgotten how many outs there were, 6-7 times. He said that happened a lot. He said he was in a daze for a lot of the season. 2-2.
Joe Girardi's reaction was interesting to me because that's one of those things that it's a mental mistake and something that you would expect every major league player to know how many outs there are. And it was surprising to me that Joe Girardi said, no big deal, you've had a great year, don't lose any sleep. I'm sure the final score of the game made him feel a lot better about it. The Yankees had a big 8th inning.
And CC was fine with it. He picked up the 17th win. And the 3-2. Kim Jones reported on the pregame show that Johnny actually sought out Dave Island, the Yankee pitching coach, and apologized to Island. And Island said, listen, you don't have to apologize to me. The amount of plays that you make for the pitchers, don't say you're sorry. And the 3-2. Hot shot up the middle, grabbed by Cano, and he makes the throw to Teixeira. And Jabba Chamberlain works a 1-2-3 third inning. Nice backhand, and then that quick throw, all wrist, and right to Teixeira. We go to the bottom of the third, 1-0 Angels. Sporting goods retailer of the New York Yankees. It'll be Nick Swisher, Melky Cabrera, and Derek Jeter against Jared Weaver. And Weaver deals. This game is a makeup game from a rainout on May 3rd. And this was the one day they could come up with to make it up. Always makes me laugh, John, when games get rained out early in the season. People are so excited. Woo-hoo-hoo, got a day off. You got to pay for it somewhere down the line. That game has to be played. Doubleheader you don't like, or an off day that's not an off day. That one's drilled deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Home run, Nick Swisher. And the game is tied at 1.
Swisher's starting to figure it out on how to hit home runs here at Yankee Stadium. The whole first half and into the second half, he was one of those guys that couldn't hit the ball out of here, but lately that is changing. Gets a hanging curveball. The curveball's been a good pitch early on for Weaver. That's just a hanger up in the zone. Watch Nick Swisher on his back leg. Great extension to that second deck, home run number 27.
Well, Nick had 3 home runs here this whole season. Now in this homestand, he has 3 home runs. And very quietly, Nick Swisher's having a tremendous season for the Yankees. You could agree or disagree with his style, but you look at his numbers, you can't disagree with that. 27 and 77. Melky grounds one up the middle for a base hit. And after the loss to Nady, John, he's been invaluable. He really has. You can put him anywhere in the lineup.
Yeah, you think back to spring training and how are the Yankees going to get him enough at bats with Nady in right field, Mark Teixeira playing first, and you can see the team leaders, Nick Swisher's second on that list. But I mean, the ability, it's second in the lineup today. He's hitting 8th, playing right field, and you wouldn't say he's the greatest right fielder, but he does a serviceable job out there.
That'll bring up Derek Jeter as the Yankees are getting to Jared Weaver for the first time tonight. It's a 1-1 game. Both runs coming via the home run. Guerrero for the Angels and Swisher for the Yankees. How's this for versatility? Swisher has batted everywhere in the lineup except for first and ninth.
Jared Weaver, he can give up some home runs. He's a fly ball pitcher, and that'd probably be the one knock on him. I talked about how he's the ace of this Angels staff. You can start thinking about postseason play. Would he be a shutdown #1 type guy? Gives up a lot of fly balls. You wonder if they're going to turn into home runs. .46% of the outs are fly balls, only 29% strikeouts.
Grounded to short. There's one. On to first. Pulls Morales off the bag.
See Derek Jeter rolling over this fastball, and Ibar kind of goes back on his heels a little bit, and because of that the play slows down. A good feed to his Taurus. You can see the bad throw a little left to right. Morales coming off the bag. But once Ibar went back on his heels instead of charging this a little bit, you felt good about Derek Jeter's chance of speeding it out.
So Jeter on first with 1 out, and that's going to bring up Johnny Damon. Damon struck out in the first inning, waving futilely at off-speed pitches. Like that.
Yeah, he had a bunch of curveballs his first at bat, and Weaver throws a first pitch changeup, and Johnny Damon Looks like he's having a little trouble picking up the off-speed pitches a little bit early.
Johnny's been stuck on 24 home runs for a while, tying his career high. And the count 1-1. Damon 3 for 16 lifetime against Weaver.
Seen Johnny all year pulling a lot of balls with Derek Jeter at first base. He's probably looking for a little cut fastball in the inner half. A pitch Weaver goes to a lot, but he seems to be going away and off speed. Johnny Damon.
That one gets past Morales, but Jeter dives back.
Yeah, Derek was leaning a little bit too. Looked like he was thinking about stealing his 27th base of the year. So he leans on his right foot trying to get a jump. Lucky to get back and lucky the throw was off the mark.
If Morales had caught that throw, he's probably out. He's trying to catch it and tag at the same time. There he goes. Popped up. Shallow center. And a nice running play by Hunter. Off balance throw to first. Not in time.
Johnny Damon had the big swing. Derek Jeter on the run off the end of the bat. You can see Hunter gets a great jump, covers a lot of ground. And then the off balance off one leg with the strong throw to first base, not able to double up Derek Jeter. Covered a lot of ground in center field to make that play. Not fooled by the big swing.
Fouled one way, the bat went another way. Almost clipped Alex Rodriguez in the on-deck circle. John, do you remember the Yankees shifting for Teixeira like this? I don't.
I don't either.
Now it seems like a lot of teams are doing it. 3 infielders on the right side.
We saw the Tampa Bay Rays do this, and Mark actually hit a line drive to right field, robbed of a base hit.
Well, they were even more dramatic because what the Tampa Bay Rays did was they moved their second baseman almost behind their first baseman and in really shallow right field, maybe about 10 or 12 feet more than Asturias is, a little bit back more toward the outfield. High fly ball, shallow right. And Abreu will make the play for the final out of the third. But the Yankees try to score 1 run on 2 hits and 1 man left, and that 1 run came on 1 swing by Nick Swisher. Jacks one out. His 6th home run of the year hit the stadium, 27th overall, a 1-1 game in the Bronx. Jared Weaver's beaten the Yankees in each of the last 4 seasons. Who's the last Angels pitcher to do the same? We'll find that out in the bottom of the inning. Bobby Abreu will lead it off against Jabba Chamberlain. So Jabba, who's been going 3 innings, now goes into the 4th. And he has just 51 pitches, so he's working economically here in this Monday game. Count 1-0. We talked about this a little bit on the Open. The Yankees have a decision to make. Now, if they can hold off the Angels for the best record in the American League, they could have a choice. You could have the best-of-5 series with 1 game off, which means that you'd have to have 4 pitchers. Or they could have the best-of-5 series that for television you could choose to have 2 games off. And they allow the team with the best record to choose which one they want. If they take the 2 games or the 2 days off, then they only have to use 3 starters. And I think a lot of it depends on how Jabba pitches in his last time out. If they get him up to 6 innings, John, and he is the pitcher he was right after the All-Star game when he was 3-0, 0.83, they might go with the 1 day off. And this way, if they face the Tigers, they don't face Verlander again until the 5th game, and there might not be a 5th game.
You know, the Tiger point with Verlander is a great point, but, you know, even if Jabba goes out his last outing and throws 6 quality innings,
right,
you know, and that would be best case scenario. Are you going to base that 1 game? Now you're going to put him in the postseason rotation? I don't know how the Yankees are going to do this. My thought is if you go with 3 starters and you have Jabba in the bullpen, boy, you have a loaded bullpen, and you have just shortened the game for your 3 starters. Dave Island, pitching coach, looking on. You tell CC Sabathia, AJ, and Andy Pettitte, go out there and give me 5, maybe 6 quality innings.
Abreu down on strikes.
That's a dangerous team for me in the first round.
I hear what you're saying. Here's the flip side. There's no real right answer, and the Yankees still have a lot of time to make this decision. Again, let's say it's the Yankees and the Tigers, and you choose the series where there are 2 days off, so you only need 3 starters. So you're going to send out Sabathia and then any combination of Andy Pettitte and AJ Burnett, which means that one of those 2 would start twice. That one is lined into right field by Guerrero, base hit. Well, the Tigers then, their 3 starters are Verlander, Edwin Jackson, and Porcello. 3 really good starters. Well, if you think that Jabba is better than their 4th starter, who would that be? Jared Washburn? Well, this way you know that at least that's going to be 1 matchup. But if you take the 2 days off, then you're going to face Verlander and Jackson twice if it's a 5-game set. Those are all the things they have to compute. It's not an easy call.
It's not at all. Does it come down to worrying about the opponent or lining your team up to have its strengths all lined up the way you want it to be? 3 starting pitchers and the strongest bullpen. I mean, I would take that Yankee bullpen right now, even without Jabba, against anybody. But you throw him out there, you've shortened the game.
Grounded slowly to 3rd. Charging is Alex Rodriguez, and he eats it. So it's a base hit for Torrey Hunter.
Jorge Posada out there having a little conversation. You know what, Michael, and just one more point on this whole Jabba thing and where he fits in. You're Joe Girardi. You'd like to see him kind of have a couple of good outings in a row. I mean, be honest, you really haven't seen him dominate since those 3 games after the All-Star break, where he was probably the best pitcher in the American League. So it's kind of a tough situation to make a decision on this guy because you need to see consistent starts, and we just haven't seen it. Tonight he looks pretty good, has a good slider.
And a strike to Morales. Now, with your line of thinking, John, you obviously think that Jabba would still translate well to the bullpen, although he doesn't throw 98 as a starter.
Yeah, you know what? You're hoping, and this is, again, because you really can't make a determination. We haven't seen him out of the bullpen, but you're hoping that if he comes out for 1 inning, velocity goes from 92, 93 to 95, 96. Fredo Aceves getting loose again, but again, we haven't seen it, so you don't know. It just adds to how tough this decision is going to be for the Yankee front office and the Yankee manager.
And they do not have to make that decision until the season is over. They have to make it that day, I believe, the last day of the season. So that was 3 weeks from yesterday. Ground ball to A-Rod. Stabbed nicely. Goes to second one. No throw to first. Beautiful play by Alex Rodriguez.
Nice piece of hitting by Morales going the other way. This ball's hit a lot harder than Alex Rodriguez expects. To his right, a nice backhand. Perfect throw to Robinson Cano. He just has a little trouble with the exchange, and you can see they would have had a play on Morales. Doesn't run all that well. First baseman slapping it the other way. Good first step to his right. Good throw to Robinson. Can't get a grip.
Jabba had 2 in the scorebook, but Cano could not get rid of the ball.
And again, when you face the Angels, you have to finish off the inning. Juan Rivera, a dangerous hitter with 2 outs.
There's that slider John spoke about outside.
And the reason I say that, Michael, about finishing off the inning, I mean, my last year playing against the Angels, I felt like they were the toughest team in the American League. You get 2 quick outs, the next thing you know, it's a base hit, a walk, and now you're fighting, you know, in an RBI situation. They do a great job of finishing off innings, quality at bats.
Count 1-1.
Yeah, the slider really has been the best pitch for Jabba tonight. Again, good numbers with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, 314.
.65 pitches for Chamberlain, 40 strikes. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Now Jabba is going to finish with close to 70 pitches. So what's happening now in front of you is spring training all over again. And they want to build them back up. And what you do is you go 15 pitches more each time. So you went from 35 to 59, dropped down to 55 last time. He's going to get close to 70, and then next time out it could be 85, and then you got yourself a full-fledged starter the next time you pitch. If you get a guy stretched out to 100 pitches, that's a guy who should be able to give you 6 innings. 3-0 after the All-Star break in 3 starts, 0.83, but since then, 1-3, 7.76. That's in 7 starts. And he wasn't working on regular rest. That's why they're using these new Jabba rules, the 2-1. Driven out to right center field. Melky Cabrera is there, and that's going to do it here in the 4th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. Good performance by Jabba Chamberlain. If that's it, it's a 1-1 game. Time to take a look at the answer to the New York State Smokers Quitline Quiz. Jared Weaver's beaten the Yankees in each of the last 4 seasons. Who's the last Angels pitcher to do the same thing? And the answer is Mark Langston. 90-93. Tough left-hander. I have another Yankee quiz for you, John, concerning Mark Langston. What famous Yankee postseason home run did Mark Langston serve up?
Tino Martinez.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Already came prepared. Tino was telling a story. We just taped him on center stage. And, you know, the 2-2 pitch that Langston threw before he hit the grand slam in game 1 of the 98 series, everybody thought it was a strike. Everybody that wasn't affiliated with the Yankees. And then he hits the 3-2 pitch into the upper deck for a grand slam. And the Yankees end up sweeping the Padres. And so Tino worked a year after he retired at ESPN. And there was a production assistant, a young lady who lived in San Diego. And she said, you know what, that was a strike. He goes, you know, I hear that so much. She goes, it was a strike. He goes, I've never seen a replay of it. All I see is the replay of the 3-2 pitch. I've never watched the whole game. And she goes, it was a strike. He goes, you know what, you probably have access to it. Why don't you get a tape, and we'll sit down tomorrow and we'll watch it. She goes, fine. So she gets the tape. Here's the 2-2. And she watched it. Tino said, wow, that was close.
Got to do the K zone, right? To see
see if it really did. And that's a walk to Aaron.
Michael, you bring up that series. That was a tough series for me to watch. Obviously, the Yankees, it worked out well for them. I was with the Padres in '97 and then got traded to Tampa in '98 and had the worst year of my career. So here I am watching the Yankees play all the guys I played with the Padres the year before, thinking I could have been on that team playing in a World Series in Yankee Stadium against my hometown team. And obviously didn't work out for the Padres. Tough series personally for me to watch.
About 5 years later, you played in the World Series for the Yankees in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, but I didn't have that foresight. But you're right. Great memories of that '03 series, except for the end result.
Matsui rips one into right field for base hit. Alex Rodriguez thought that Morales had caught it. He's heading back to first. But now the Yankees have runners on first and second, nobody out.
Actually, good base running by Alex Rodriguez. You're taught to freeze on a line drive. Deki Matsui continues his red-hot hitting. Fastball in the outside half, and he decides he's going to pull it through that hole. Alex Rodriguez, you're taught to freeze, does a nice job making sure it gets through, and then cruises into second base easily. Freeze on a liner, going back to first, gets into right field, you move on to second base. Station to station, good base running.
Here's Posada. Off-speed pitch, Posada way out in front.
Big curveball from Weaver, starts on the outer half and drops down to the middle. Jorge swinging right over the top. Jorge had a ground ball double play. His shortstop was first at bat to Ibar. We'll see if he thinks the other way a little bit more, trying to drive it to left center. Weaver really doing a good job of picking his spots to the lefties, kind of going in just to show them, but most of the pitches away. A lot of off-speed pitches, trying to stay away from that short porch here in Yankee Stadium in right field.
Foul back.
Might be a spot for a cut fastball inside from Weaver. Jorge Posada's seen 3 pitches away. The last one was a changeup. See if Weaver and Mathis decide to go inside with a fastball and try to finish him off away. Good pitch right there off the plate inside. It's not a strike. You don't get the call, but you plant a seed in Jorge Posada's head. It might go back in there. It'll make that off-speed pitch away a little bit more effective.
The 2-2. And the count 3-2. Robinson Cano waits on deck, and now Mathis goes out and talks with Jared Weaver. This chiropractic telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees.
I would be shocked if Weaver went with a third fastball inside to Jorge Posada, and Jorge, one of the greatest, not guest hitters, but he sits on pitches, sits on location. I'm sure he's looking for a pitch out over the plate, thinking Weaver won't throw 3 in a row inside.
3-2. Fly ball, shallow center. Hunter will make the play for the first out.
Take a look at the pitch by pitch to Jorge Posada. The first 3 pitches are going to be away. A curveball, fastball misses down and away. A change-up, and Jorge checks his swing. Fastball in, goes back inside again, misses. And then on the 3-2 count, it's a change-up, and it's a mistake. It's up in the zone. Weaver got away with one there. Those 2 fastballs inside enabled him to get away with a bad change-up on a 3-2 count.
Pitching coach Mike Butcher comes out and talks with Weaver. With Mathis behind the plate, opponents at 215 against Weaver. With Napoli behind the plate, they hit 306. Here's Cano, grounded to short in the second. He's 0 for 1. Count 1-0.
Weaver looking for a double play ground ball to get out of this inning. We mentioned it earlier. He doesn't get a lot of ground balls, a lot of fly balls.
That could be a double play ground ball. There's one on the first. It's a double play. 4-6-3 ends the threat. So the Yankees, no runs, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We played 4. It's a 1-1 game here at the stadium. Fifth inning here at the stadium. On the Lexus scoreboard, it's 1-1, and the line score is identical, 1-4-0, 1-4-0. Jabba Chamberlain gives the Yankees 4 innings, so one more than he has been giving them. And it's time now for the call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. And that call to the bullpen brings in Alfredo Aceves, 10-1 as a reliever.
It's been a common theme in Jabba Chamberlain's starts. Aceves coming in, middle of the ball game, in line to pick up a few wins. 10-1 on the year, 3.72. And he's had only 1 earned run in the last 9 1/3 innings. Finishing up the year strong.
Here's Eric Ibar. Now you saw he faked that old butcher boy. The Angels have 128 infield hits, and they're first in the major leagues with 33 bunt hits. They use their speed, they flaunt it. Now, when the Yankees got swept by the Angels, there was one player that was not available, and that was Alfredo Aceves. And in retrospect, if they had him, it might have been a different series, but they decided to start him in the previous series in Minnesota. So he was unavailable for the 3 games in Anaheim and weakened the Yankee bullpen considerably. You take everybody out of their roles when you move that one big piece out, and that's what the Yankees did.
You know what was disappointing about that series was Guerrero was out, Torrey Hunter was out, and the Yankees really felt like they were going in there at the right time to have a good series. They ended up getting swept, deflating before the All-Star break. To their credit, they rebounded after. I really believe it. Mentally, you got to do a nice job the next 4 games against this team. If you face each other in the postseason, you feel good about your matchups.
That one's driven to right field, and that's going to be a base hit. Playing it off the wall is Swisher. He spins and fires a second, but not in time. So a double to lead off the inning by Ibar.
There was no doubt in Ibar's mind he was going for 2 on this right out of the box. Take a look, Jorge Posada setting up inside. The ball ends up middle of the plate, and Ibar just sweeps the bat head through the zone. He's thinking double all the way. Talk about it all the time. The Angels very aggressive on the bases. Nick Swisher does a nice job getting to it, but a high throw. Ibar into second base easily. Out of the box thinking 2. A nice turn around first base, and then he kicks it into another gear. Head first slide. Leadoff double.
Aceves sporting sideburns he never had before. A new addition. Bunted and grabbed in foul territory by Teixeira.
You got to believe Mathis is going to get another opportunity to lay down a sacrifice bunt. Only the .210 batting average, a little bit of pop, 5 home runs, but a guy who's known for his work behind the plate, hitting 9th in the order. You got to get the job done here, advancing Ibar to third base.
And he gets the bunt down beautifully. The sacrifice is successful, 1-4. So Mathis, who doesn't hit much, 211 coming in, contributes right there. And Mike Scioscia plays this sort of baseball.
You know what, as a backup guy, I mean, he kind of splits time a little bit with Napoli, does a good job behind the plate, but you feel good about that at bat. A little sac bunt, advancing a runner, turn it over to the top of your lineup.
Yankees will give up the run. The infield is back at second and short. They're in at the corners. Slash foul. Abel going through the signs. And Posada talks things over with Aceves.
Well, you always got to be thinking about the suicide squeeze, especially with this combination. Ibar on third base, who runs well. Figgins handles the bat. Bunt for a base hit at any time. Wouldn't put it past Mike Scioscia to put a suicide squeeze on at some point, possibly a safety squeeze. Sure, Jorge Posada and Aceves talking about what they want to do if you see Figgins square around.
Posada look down there. Now, if they did see him break before Aceves actually delivers the ball, what's the thing to do? Bounce it or throw it at the batter?
No, old school is you throw it up and in at the batter.
Right.
You know, and no matter what sign you had on, you give the pitcher the ability to change and just throw a fastball right up and in on Figgins' hands. That would be the old school way to go. Obviously, he's hitting left-handed this at bat. Jorge Posada could say, you know what, just treat it as a pitch out if you see Ibar coming or Figgins squaring around. Good count to do it right here if you're thinking about it, Mike Scioscia. A lot of confusion right now on pitch selection. I'm sure Jorge Posada thinking about the possibility of the squeeze. Aceves thinking about how he could get Figgins to pop one up. Tough time getting on the same page.
Two-one. Strike, good pitch on the outside corner. That should remove any threat of the suicide squeeze with 2 strikes.
Good pitch, good movement. Starts on the corner and then finishes off. Gets a call from Darryl Cousins behind the plate. Finished off. That's got the benefit of the doubt on that call.
That'll get a run in. Yankees have the infield back, so it's 2-1 Angels as Ibar scores and Figgins gets an RBI. Celebrate the inaugural season of Yankee Stadium this Wednesday, September 16th, when the Yankees take on the Blue Jays. The first 18,000 fans in attendance will receive a Yankees plush whistle, courtesy of PC Richard & Son. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Here's Asturis. Foul back. Along with John Flaherty, I'm Michael Kay, and you're watching Yankees baseball right here on Yes. We thank you for spending part of your Monday evening with us. It's 2-1 Angels, top of the 5th inning, as we watch what could be a playoff preview. Right now, if the season were to end, it would be the Yankees against the Tigers and the Red Sox against the Angels. Now, the Red Sox play the Angels very, very well. Swing and a miss. Asturis down on strikes, but the leadoff double comes back to haunt Aceves and the Yankees. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. At the end of 4.5, we're halfway through. 2-1 A's. is brought to you in part by J&R Music and Computer World and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Lexus scoreboard, it's 2-1 Angels. And as the Angels build a run in the fifth to take a lead. Here's Swisher. He's a Yankee offense so far tonight. And a home run into the second deck and right. Takes a strike right there.
Jared Weaver's done a nice job against the Yankees left-handed batters, keeping the breaking ball away and the changeup away. The one mistake he made, Nick Swisher, a curveball right down the middle.
Swisher, Cabrera, and Jeter. 8-9-1 in the Yankee order against Jared Weaver. Weaver, much better pitcher at home than he is on the road. An ERA almost 2 points higher. That one is drilled to right field. It's going to be another base hit for Swisher. Playing it out there is Bobby Abreu. Swisher going for two. The throw is offline. Actually hit Swisher, I believe, on the foot and kicked away. So a leadoff double for Nick Swisher.
Nick Swisher just hung in there at this at bat, and he finally got a mistake after seeing 4 pitches away. He gets a changeup that was yanked middle in, and he drills it to right field. Bobby Abreu has a strong throwing arm. Pretty decent throw, but it hits Nick Swisher on that head-first slide. You see Mathis setting up away. It's a changeup that just cuts inside. Nick Swisher been fortunate enough to get a couple of mistakes tonight from Jared Weaver, and he's made him pay.
On the bottom of the right foot.
What makes him dangerous, Michael? I mean, he's so patient up there at the plate. He takes the close pitches, waits for a mistake. When he gets it, he does some damage with it.
Higgins in at third, expecting to bunt from Melky Cabrera. Melky shows bunt, takes low.
Take a look at the super slow-mo. Mathis setting up away. Nick Swisher gets that front foot down, head down, nice extension, two-handed follow-through. We just saw the Angels manufacture a run the top of the fifth. The Yankees trying to do the same here in the bottom.
Melky has 4 sacrifices this year.
Joe Girardi gave him the opportunity to swing the bat on the 1-0 count, trying to pull a pitch. Nice discipline from Melky Cabrera. That ball was right on the outside corner. Not a pitch that's easy to pull. Does a nice job of taking it. We'll see if the bunt is on now.
Pitch inside. So Girardi electing to go for the bigger inning. Weaver 65 pitches. He expects that Melky should be able to pull the ball. And maybe it squeezes through for a base hit. Keeps the inning alive. Good pitch by Weaver, misses outside. 3-1.
I think it's also Joe Girardi knowing his team is Derek Jeter on deck. I mean, Melky has 4 sacrifice bunts this year, but he doesn't look awfully comfortable when he tries to do it. Joe Girardi giving him the opportunity to swing the bat, trying to pull a pitch, advance Nick Swisher.
And he walked him. Now, John, we've seen Derek Jeter do this a lot. It's usually not called from the bench, but you could easily see Derek Jeter bunt right here to try to move the runs up.
Yeah, he would try to bunt for a base hit down the third base line. If it doesn't work out for a base hit, it'll be a sacrifice bunt. And a lot of times Derek does this depending on how he feels at the plate. I mean, if he's locked in, he's going to swing the bat. If he's not feeling 100%, take that opportunity to drop a bunt down the third base line. Best case scenario, it's a base hit. Worst case, sacrifice bunt, runners advance.
Higgins not as close as he was for Cabrera. Jeter has 3 sacrifice bunts this year. Kendry Morales is actually back at first. A push bunt might be able to get a base hit. But he does square and the pitch is outside.
Jared Weaver getting a little bit too fine right now. Yankees trying to give him an out. Trying to pick the corners and just missing. I can see Derek swing the bat here. Hitters count 1-0. Showed bunt.
Runs it right back to Weaver. They'll take the out at first. Sacrifice success for 1-3. Second and third, one out.
Thought Derek might show bunt first pitch and then get aggressive on the second one, but he decides to square around, bat head out in front. And it's not a perfect bunt, but it's deadened enough in front of Jared Weaver to get the job done.
Here's Damon, and the Angels play the infield back as the Yankees did with a runner on third and less than 2 outs, so they'll give up the lead and take the tie on a ground ball. First pitch outside.
See if Johnny makes a little bit of an adjustment here. He's seen curveballs away, changeups away, and he struck out and hit a fly ball to center field. See if he goes out there and tries to hook an off-speed pitch. He's having a tough time with that changeup, swinging right through it a couple of times.
Strike. Damon, 59% of the time he gets the runner in from third with less than 2 outs. 13 of 22.
And Johnny Damon got caught guessing right there. Seeing curveballs and changeups the whole night. Jared Weaver just snuck a fastball pretty much right down the middle. Johnny Damon took it. Good pitch to hit.
The 1-2. Blocked there by Mathis. Mark Teixeira, who's 1 for 2 tonight, is on deck. Nick Swisher on third. Melky Cabrera at second. 1 man out. Yankees down 2-1, bottom of the fifth.
And some good arms in the outfield, too, for the Angels throwing. Johnny Damon hits a fly ball. It better be a deep one.
That should get a run in. And the runner runs into Figgins, and they're going to call the runner out. And that puts the runner at third, Swisher back at third. So a costly play by Melky Cabrera.
Johnny Damon gets jammed. You can see Figgins going over. Melky Cabrera just runs right into him. You got to freeze and try to get out of the way. You got to give Figgins a lane to make the play. The umpire's all over it. Nick Swisher is going to end up back at third base.
That's a tough play, tough call. Melky was not trying to run him over. Now you can bowl over the guy once he has the ball, but you can't hit into him before the ball gets there. That's taught a lot. Second baseman gets the ball, he's trying to break up a double play. You can blast him in the left field. It's not a nice thing to do, but that's what's taught.
Yeah, I think Melky got caught in between right there. The ball wasn't hit hard. He thought he could get past Sean Figgins and get to third base. Had 2 options. You can kind of run out of the baseline and avoid him, or you could freeze and go back to second base. He tried to beat him to the spot and didn't get there. Interference on Melky Cabrera, and Johnny Damon jammed. You can see the ball hit softly, and Melky got caught in no man's land.
And I wonder, after watching that, if Melky hurt himself. So now it's first and third with 2 men out. Swisher had to go back to third. Now it's scored, interference on the runner, and the putout goes to the third baseman, Figgins. The 1-0. That was driven deep to center. Runner back, still back, and he can't make the play. It's up against the wall. 2 runs will score. Teixeira's rounding third. He'll stop right there. It's a 2-run triple from Mark Teixeira, and the Yankees lead 3-2.
Mark Teixeira comes through with a big triple with 2 outs. And you can see Mark Teixeira looking back. I think he thought there might have been catcher's interference. Ball was crushed to center field. With Torrey Hunter out there, you're always thinking about a spectacular play. Turns his back to the infield, runs to a spot, but he doesn't get to the right spot. Off the center field wall, bounces back. Mark Teixeira, rounding second, is going to cruise into third.
Lost his shoe as well, and had a jog with one shoe on, one shoe off.
Saw a little click there of the glove. It was catcher's interference. If you're Mark Teixeira, you keep running, see how the play plays out. He's going to get to third base, a big triple with 2 outs and a couple RBIs.
Why is he complaining?
Well, he might be thinking he might have had a home run right there. I mean, he hit that ball all the way off the center field wall. If there wasn't interference, could have been a home run.
But if they called interference on it, then he would take first base and he wouldn't have the 2-run triple. So you almost keep your mouth shut on that one. Take a look at this angle. Very clearly he hit the glove. Mathis was reaching forward. Line drive, foul. Well, that's Teixeira's first triple since 2007. Let's take a look at the effort by Hunter. He just ran to the wrong spot, John.
He did. He turned his back on the infield and just ran to where he thought this ball was going to go. And you wonder maybe off the left-handed swing of Mark Teixeira if it sliced away from him a little bit. Tears up the center field wall, loses his shoe.
And the 0-2 outside.
The 8 consecutive Gold Gloves. You're always thinking about spectacular play in center field from Torrey Hunter. Just didn't run to the right spot.
And the count now 2-2. You can see it got it right on the webbing of the catcher's mitt. And the 2-2. And the count full 3-2. 81 pitches for Wheeler. Pitching coach Mike Butcher. Hideki Matsui is on deck. Grounded in the hole. Backhanded by Ibar. Sets and fires, and they get A-Rod for the final out of the inning. But the Yankees score 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man down. The 2 runs came on that swing by Mark Teixeira. He wanted catcher's interference. Instead, he got a 2-run triple and a 3-2 Yankee lead. Yes, we get our Green Mountain K-Cup coffee system from the same people who bring us our office supplies. W.B. Mason, who but? We go to the 6th. Yankees have a 3-2 lead over the Angels, and Bobby Abreu will lead off against Alfredo Aceves. And there's a strike. How about that, John, huh?
You're supposed to tell your family not to bring the posters to the game. What's your comp tickets?
No, I wish I knew those people, but I don't.
They look like lovely people. I thought they were your family.
My family is lovely, but that's not them. Tough to stomach, isn't it, John?
I'm happy for you. I agree. 100%.
You know that on the Joe Girardi show this week, W.B. Mason presents the Joe Girardi show, a fan actually wrote in, and this was a question that we asked Joe, was actually upset that you didn't invite me to NYY Steak, but you invited Posada. And Joe said, it's a catcher's thing, Michael. He said, John also has a little bit of an edge, because I remember when I was a coach and John played for the Yankees, sometimes I'd get a nasty look every now and then. But then Joe graciously invited me out to dinner, and I accepted. There's one out. Now, you could actually see that question being asked after the postgame tonight. Don't miss W.B. Mason presents the Joe Girardi show for the manager's thoughts on the Yankees playoff run, plus a preview of the upcoming matchups against Toronto and Seattle. It's the Joe Girardi show tonight after the postgame, and an all-new one Sunday at 8, only on Yes.
Joe wasn't the only person who got a bad look that year. I think I hit 160 as a Yankee in 05.
But he liked your edge. He said, you have an edge to you. He said sometimes if John's not happy, he's going to give you a little look.
05, I wasn't happy a lot that year. Did you guys have a nice dinner?
We didn't go yet.
Oh.
We will. Now, since you were at NYY Steak, which is a steakhouse within Yankee Stadium, somebody's told me that they have a collection of knives with all of the Yankee announcers' names on them.
That's true.
You did say that?
Yes, I did. They were very nice to put the steak knife in front of me with the name engraved in it. But I think it's all the players,
right,
front office, because I saw Brian Cashman and Randy Levine. They were going to have dinner in there as well.
Right.
So it was a great crowd in there. I'm sorry you couldn't make it. But they also had their steak knives engraved with their names. So it was a great experience and something that you're going to have to check out, Michael.
It wasn't that I couldn't make it. I just wasn't invited.
I told you that the reservation for 5, you couldn't last minute change
very
that.
Tough, yeah. Here's the 1-2. Driven deep to center field. Melky back. Still back. Track. In front of the wall, he makes the play. 2 outs. Boy, Guerrero's swinging about well tonight.
Yeah, he looks a lot better. He's been struggling a little bit lately, and Alfredo Aceves has a little bit of a grin, but he got in just enough. You watch Vladimir Guerrero, he doesn't get that tremendous extension. He knows he hit it on the good part of the bat, but didn't get his arms extended. Melky cruising back on the track. He's going to have plenty of room. Just enough on that fastball.
Here's Torrey Hunter. And the pitch high. One more out, and Alfredo Aceves will complete at least 2 innings out of the pen for the 21st time this season. What a weapon to have out there. A real swing man. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did.
Well, Torrey's not going to be happy with the call, but we've seen this a few times from him tonight. He's really out on his front leg and a lot of check swings. And clearly, it looked like he went again.
Darryl Cousins did not check. He called that on his own. And the 1-2. That's what really upsets batters, and our very own Paul O'Neill says it too. He said there's no way that you can watch the swing and where the ball is going. he said you have to check with the first or third base ump.
And I agree with Paul. I mean, being back behind the plate, you would always think that the hitter went, but you didn't know for sure. You're tough enough catching the ball.
Line into center field, the base hit for Torrey Hunter. So Torrey is 2 for 3. That's going to bring up Kendry Morales, and what do we know about him?
Well, let's take a look at his scouting report. And Mark Teixeira, the Angels wanted to sign him back. They couldn't afford him. They let him go, and Morales has stepped in. And he's an MVP candidate, and he's the Triple Crown leader for the Angels in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. 30 home runs, 98 RBIs, and now hitting .308 on the year, so having an outstanding season. It's the best money they didn't spend on Mark Teixeira. Obviously, Mark having a big year, MVP candidate as well. Morales has stepped in, done a nice job.
And he's a homegrown product. And that's something that the Angels take very seriously, player development. So they have 35 players on the expanded roster, and 23 of the 35 players have come up through the farm system, including 4 of the 5 starting pitchers and all 4 catchers on the roster.
The Angels front office did a nice job scouting. Morales was a cleanup hitter at 19 years old for the Cuban national team. Signed him to a 6-year deal in 2004, and he's really producing here in 2009.
Now Dave Island wants to talk things over with Aceves. They had a first baseman that was the first baseman of the future. It was Casey Kochman, and they used Kochman in the deal with the Braves to get Mark Teixeira. Now they were hoping to sign Teixeira. I mean, they liked Kendry Morales, but they felt that Mark Teixeira was a sure thing, and they tried. But as I said earlier, Teixeira seemed like he really wanted to stay on the or go back to the East Coast. Teixeira had some season with the Angels. In 54 games, 358, 13 homers, and 43 runs batted in, and an on-base percentage of .449. 1-1. 1-2.
Well, they got Mark at the right time of the year. He's traditionally a slow starter and got off to a slow start this year, so the Angels didn't have to deal with that.
And those are some of the MVP candidates in the American League. Now we're sporting a .366 batting average from behind the plate. Jeter at .332. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. 2 off-speed pitches get Kendry Morales. And Aceves works his 2nd inning. No runs are hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. Let's go to the bottom of the 6th at the stadium. Good game. Yankees lead 3-2 on yes. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by your tri-state area Audi dealers. Audi, the official luxury vehicle of the New York Yankees. And the pitch to Matsui, a strike. 3-2 Yankees lead each team with 6 hits. Matsui, Posada, and Cano. Grounded to first. Matsui tried to pull an outside pitch, one away. First time they've retired him tonight. Yankees won 2 out of 3 against the Angels here and lost 3 straight there. Since 2005 in Anaheim, the Yankees are 6 for 19, or 6 and 19, and here at home 10 and 10. Now the big thing is, John, when you wonder, well, what's the big deal about home field advantage? Well, if you play in the ALCS, don't you want Game 6 and 7 in New York? I just gave you the stats.
Well, definitely, and obviously the trip out to the West Coast, not an easy one, even though during the off season or the postseason you have some days off. Still not an easy thing to do, travel all the way out there. They have a nice home field advantage.
And if you have home field advantage, that means you only have to go there once. If they have home field advantage, you have to go there maybe twice. Posada swings and misses. Each time the Angels have knocked the Yankees out of the playoffs, though, it's been in the best of 5. They've never met the ALCS. So if they met this time, that's the way it would play out. They meet in the ALCS. There's one scenario that has them meeting the Angels in the ALDS if the Red Sox overtake the Yankees. And the Yankees finish with the wild card. The Red Sox, though, are 6 games back in the loss column. And 7 games overall in the AL East.
Well, sure, the Yankees feel like they're a different ball club than they were before the All-Star break when they got swept out in Anaheim. I mean, their bullpen right now matches up better against the Angels. The way Phil Hughes is slotted in that 8th inning, everybody else moving down the pecking order, and they feel better about their bullpen than the Angels.
Posada grounds one back to Weaver. 2 outs. Phil Hughes has been pitching great, but has this terrible posture out there. That's the way he watches the game all the time.
You know, Michael, that's what I think I love about him, though. A guy in the bullpen is just kind of chilling out, waiting for the phone to ring. There's nothing worse than some bullpen guys who are kind of pacing back and forth, getting nervous about when the phone's going to ring. Is it going to be me? Is it not going to be me? Every time you see Phil in the middle of a ball game just chilling.
Popped up. And out of play. You know how many times, though, John, I got yelled at in school because I would always sit like that on my chair on the back 2 legs all the time. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's balancing on the back 2 legs.
Well, that's the great part of playing in Yankee Stadium. We're not at school. We're at the ballpark. You're allowed to slouch a little bit.
Doing it right now. They're all slouching. The 0-1.
Only imagine the conversations going on out there.
Not about school, I'm sure. 1-1. Laced into left center field. It's a base hit. Rivera cuts the ball off in the gap. But Cano's going for 2. And he's out. He gambled with 2 outs. Not the worst thing. The play was right in front of him. And he was expecting Rivera not to make a good throw. Rivera did. Cano's thinking double out of the box. And Rivera's thinking, I'm going to stop him from getting that extra base. The throw right on the bag. And the tag made by Estouris as Cano is out. We go to the 7th. the season. You've been texting us at 58772, and 56% agree it's the bullpen. 33% say offense. I think that's about right, both of those.
Well, offensively, the Yankees have more firepower with all the home run hitters. Angels offensively a high average ball club, don't have as much power. The Yankees are hoping that bullpen advantage will play its way out tonight. Seventh inning going to be a big inning for Aceves. You get through that, you start thinking about Phil Hughes and Mariano Rivera.
Bottom of the order, Rivera, Ibar, and Mathis against Aceves. Former Yankee farmhand Juan Rivera has put together a good season for the Angels. And the 1-1. 2-1.
We saw Juan Rivera with that strong throw on Robinson Cano, trying to stretch out a double, playing left field. He's got a right fielder's throwing arm. Played right field for the Yankees a little bit while he was here.
And has played right field, filling in for Vladimir Guerrero when Guerrero's hurt before they got Abreu. They've got, as John mentioned, 3 good arms out there. 8-time Gold Glove winner in center. And whether it be Guerrero or Abreu in right, great arm out there. And you don't want to do that, so he walks Rivera with the tying run. Tomorrow, catch an all-new This Week in Football presented by Geico for a complete recap of the NFL's opening weekend, including a look at the Giants and the Jets, plus comprehensive analysis of all the games from our experts. It's an all-new This Week in Football tomorrow night at 7, only on Yes. So Rivera's taken out for a pinch runner. Let's see who it is. Chris Pettit. A pinch run. So Petit leads off of first. Ibar looks down, see if there's a bunt on. And Phil Coke getting ready. Popped up. Jeter drifts over toward the line on the outfield grass. 1 out.
Posada setting up away, and it misses pretty much up middle. Ibar chased one out of the zone a little bit, got beat with a fastball. An easy play for Derek Jeter. And with Mathis, the light hitting catcher, hitting ninth, you'd expect a pinch hitter from Mike Scioscia.
It's going to be Gary Matthews Jr. Boy, they're carrying a lot of people on their bench. They have 2, 4, 6, 8, 11 guys on the bench. Usually a team carries 4 guys on the bench, so 11, and Matthews will come up to pinch hit.
Matthews got a lot of his playing time when Torrey Hunter was hurt. He played 31 out of 32 games. You could see all the position players available.
So Matthews was signed to a big money deal after a big season with Texas. It's 5 years, $55 million. And then the next year, they went out and they signed Torrey Hunter. So Matthews didn't have a position. Essentially, he's just a 4th outfielder for the Angels, making a lot of money. There's a strike. And he's not happy about it. He's happy about the money, but he wants to play. But he got that money in a different economic time, and it'd be awfully hard to trade him making that kind of dough.
Yeah, you'd have to believe the Angels would have to eat some of that contract in order to move him. But Matthews, a good guy in the clubhouse, had a nice conversation with him today. Looking forward to finishing up strong with the Angels, and then you see what happens in the offseason.
Matthews 2 for 6 this year as a pinch hitter. Petit is back. Aceves trying to pick up his 11th win of the year against just one loss. Yankees are leading 3-2 on the top of the 7th at the stadium. Missed outside, 2-1. Game slows down when someone gets on base, and walking the leadoff batter. Not a great move by Aceves.
Phil Koch getting loose in the Yankee bullpen. Joe Girardi sticks with Matthews hitting left-handed. He's a switch hitter. Facing the righty Aceves, hitting .263 against righties and only .184 against lefties.
Also playing to the shorter part of the park as well.
Yeah, Joe Girardi sticking with the right-hander Aceves.
Joe Madden did that with Posada and spun him around to the left side. And when asked about it, he showed the guy who questioned it a couple of stats that Posada has 3 times as many double play ground balls from the left side than he does from the right. But it still doesn't make sense in this ballpark because Posada proceeded a 3-run home run to win the game.
Joe Madden made some questionable moves in the bullpen, and you know his bullpen was beat up, so you can't really get on him all that much trying to go with the guys that he thought he can get through the situation. But matchups and numbers did not work out.
Runner goes, 3-1 is high. So another walk. This one to Matthews Jr. pinch hitting. And the Angels have the tying run at second base.
Dave Island on the phone.
And Phil Koch is going to come in. Ian Harris first and second, 1 man out. Sean Figgins coming up. Aceves is done. Koch comes in. Yankees only onto a 3-2 lead here in the 7th. an all-new Forbes Sports Money presented by Fox Business Network. Look inside the controversial Supreme Court case that could drastically change the sports business landscape. Plus, the new NFL TV deals and how they affect the league. It's a new Forbes Sports Money Friday at 9, only on Yes. Here's Phil Koch, 65th game, 4-3, 4.97. Koch inherits 2 base runners. Now he has stranded 36 of the 46 that he has inherited this year, so 78% die on the bases. Here's Sean Figgins.
Phil Koch, well rested, has 4 days off, so he should be fresh coming out of that bullpen. Joe Girardi switches Figgins around to the right side where he's a .251 hitter.
Missed outside does Koch.
As opposed to left-handed .326. Be a tough guy to double up, Figgins will. The only way you double him up, it's a hard ground ball right at somebody.
There's a strike, and the count 2-1. 94-mile-an-hour fastball from Koch.
Yeah, a lot of rest, 4 days off. You see Figgins does not like the call from home plate umpire Daryl Cousins. Looked like it was a little bit low. Phil Koch gets the benefit of the doubt on that call.
Figgins, a .347 hitter with runners in scoring position. 2-1. Strike outside corner, 2-2. Figgins doesn't like that one either.
We get to see it again. Jorge Posada setting up down and away. Well, that's a perfect pitch, tough to hit. Just clips that front corner.
The 2-2. Strike 3. Figgins now looking. Kept painting. Painted low, then painted outside to get him looking. And Figgins does not like the call.
I think Sean Figgins has an argument with the 2-0 pitch, but the next 2 fastballs were pretty much perfect. Right on the outside corner. That was just off that edge. A little bit too close with 2 strikes. Doesn't like the call from Daryl Cousins.
Here's Meiser Astouris.
Astouris, a .381 hitter, hitting right-handed. Stronger side of the plate.
Count 2-0. Al Baladeo warming in the Yankee bullpen. But he's not coming in until Guerrero, because they'll leave Koch in to face the lefty swinging Abreu. The 2-0. That one just missed. That one, the same pitch that he rung up Figgins on, but he didn't call this one a strike.
The same count, too, a 2-0 fastball. Looks a little bit down, but you're right. Daryl Cousins made that call on Figgins. Bobby Abreu waiting on deck.
Porter to the plate, the count 3-1. Koch has been much better here at home than on the road. At home, 4-1, 3.31 on the road, 0-2 with a 7.48. Now, Astouris has a hitter's count at 3-1. First and second, 2 men out. Yankees holding on to a 1-run lead here in the top of the 7th. Punch the other way, but it slices out of play.
It's a good spot to hit, and if you're his tourist, hitting in front of Bobby Abreu, figure you get a lot of fastballs, a lot of pitches to hit. He just had a 3-1 fastball and shot it foul the other way. Jorge Posada going out to have a conversation. Waiting for that first slider from Phil Koch. It's been all fastball since he's come out of the pen.
Well, the runners will go on 3-2, 2 outs. One good arm in the Yankee outfield. That belongs to Melky Cabrera. And he's in center field. With the runners going, Petit has a good chance to score on a single. 3-2. High fly ball, right field, and out of play.
Phil Koch proud of his fastball tonight, 94 miles an hour, and he just keeps rearing back and firing.
Runners go, 3-2. Ground ball up the middle. Jeter stabs it, spins, fires to first, and a backhand scoop by Teixeira to end the inning. And Koch gets out of trouble. What a play by Teixeira. Pretty nice play by Jeter up the middle. So the 2 walks do not hurt the Yankees. No runs, no hit, no errors. And because of this play, 2 runners left on base. A sweet backhand scoop by Teixeira. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Yankees lead the Angels 3-2, but we stay right here and honor America in the Bronx. That obviously the Angels keeping a close eye on. Texas, their closest pursuer. It's 3-2. Yankees lead as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Pretty nice play by Jeter and Teixeira to end that inning, John.
Well, it's a luxury for Derek Jeter when you make the play. You just throw it over there, trusting that Mark Teixeira is going to make the pick, which he did.
Nick Swisher leads off against Weaver, and the pitch is a strike. Attaboy, Jeet.
Just watching that play, though, Michael, I mean, if you're Derek Jeter, you eliminate the thought of making a bad throw to first base. You don't have to be perfect. You just throw it over there, whether it's high or low, trusting that Mark Teixeira is going to make the play. We've seen him do it all year. One of the reasons Derek's having an outstanding year at shortstop. Spin, just get it over there. Nice backhand pick, able to hold on.
Now, what was Cano doing there? It looked like he was holding his hands up. Did he want to throw to second, or did he tell Jeter to eat the ball? Not quite sure. It almost looked like he was trying to block the throw. Take a look at this. What's that about? Not throw the ball?
Maybe not to throw the ball. I think he saw the runner around third who kept going all the way to home. I think he might have been telling Derek Jeter to hold the ball and then throw home.
Jeter did not listen, and it turned out right. Swisher swings and misses. First time that Weaver's gotten them all game. Let's take a look at the Land Rover drive of the game.
Leading off the bottom of the third inning for the Yankees, Nick Swisher got a curveball. It was a hanger. Middle of the plate, his 27th home run of the year. Your Land Rover drive of the game.
And Melky Cabrera works the count to 1-0. And the count 2-0. Phil Hughes will pitch the 8th inning for the Yankees. Chopped slowly right side. Historis charges and makes a nice play. Tonight, throughout the Yankee season on Yes, we're allowing you to vote along with the two of us here in the booth for the Chevy Player of the Game. Text your vote to 58772. And tonight's candidates are number 1, Mark Teixeira; number 2, Nick Swisher; number 3, Jared Weaver; number 4, Vladimir Guerrero. Vote now. Make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. And the pitch is outside. Grounded to third. Figgins backs up. And an easy 1-2-3 inning for Jared Weaver and the Angels. So the Yankees go down in order, and we go to the 8th inning. Yankees 3 and the Angels 2. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
The Geico play of the game happened in the top of the 7th inning as Torres hits a ground ball up the middle. Derek Jeter spins, throws to Mark Teixeira to end the threat of your Geico play of the game.
And now, Phil Koch turns it over to Phil Hughes. So the Filthies try to get it done over an inning and 2/3 before turning it over to Mariano Rivera. And it always happens like this. It seems like when Phil Koch comes in, you face 3, 4, and 5 in the order. So you see his numbers. He's not going to get a save or get a hold if he does his job. But this is where a game could be won or lost when you have to face Bobby Abreu, Vladimir Guerrero, and Torrey Hunter. So those are the overall numbers as a reliever. Hughes in 35 games, 3-1, 1.24 ERA, 55 strikeouts, and 43 and 2/3 innings.
Bobby Abreu, a dangerous hitter, known as a very patient hitter. A lot of times we've seen him in his Yankee career really get aggressive on a first pitch, try to tie this ball game up.
And the count 1-0. Abreu's 0 for 3. Came into the game 6 for his last 18. Had a really bad August. Trying to snap out of that. Couldn't catch up with that 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
It's what you love about Phil Hughes coming out of the bullpen. He's not even thinking about location. Just here it is, try to hit it. Pretty much right down the middle of the plate, just overpowered Bobby Abreu.
And the 1-2. With the game on the line now, the Angel relievers, and there are a lot of them, they are up against the glass in left field. Now, Alex Rodriguez has been very complimentary of Phil Hughes. He says, look at the last 10 years. You don't find many championship teams who do not have a lockdown guy in the 8th inning. And he thinks that Phil Hughes is that lockdown guy for the Yankees. Two-two. Missed outside.
Nothing fancy about this at bat for Phil Hughes. All fastballs. Tries to locate on the outside corner. Doesn't get away with it. You expect Bobby Abreu to get another fastball. You expect it to be away. A one-run game. You try to play to the big part of the park.
3-2. And he plays up the middle for a single.
Seen that at bat before from Bobby Abreu when he was a New York Yankee, getting deep into the count, finally getting a pitch to hit. Just drives it right back up the middle, doesn't try to do too much. Leadoff hitter on here in the 8th inning.
This should be an interesting at bat. Guy who throws hard, guy who loves the fastball. Should be power against power. See if Hughes does anything else. Line drive to left field. It's a base hit off the bat of Guerrero. Threw him a cutter there. Didn't throw him the 95-mile-an-hour fastball. So first and second, nobody out.
We talked about it early on. You can pitch to Vladimir Guerrero. You just don't have to throw anything over the plate. This is a cutter that gets the outer half. Ends up in left field as a base hit. Guerrero's had some good swings tonight. He's been struggling a little bit lately. Had the home run off of Jabba Chamberlain. You see, catches way too much of the plate. Yankees fortunate that ball was only a base hit to left field.
Terry Evans will pinch run for Guerrero. That's a go-ahead run at first. Socha wants him to be able to score on an extra base hit. Here's Torrey Hunter. Now the Angels have 44 come from behind wins, second only to the Yankees 46. So they're trying to ring up number 45 here in the Bronx. Here's Evans.
See if Phil Hughes can make a pitch here and get a couple outs on one pitch. Deflating if Phil Hughes can't get through this inning, but he overpowers Torrey Hunter with a fastball. We talk about it all the time. Phil Hughes, the biggest difference maker in that bullpen. Little cut fastball might be able to get a double play ground ball on this pitch.
And the count 2-1. And Damaso Marte, last time he got roughed up, he was in a game. He is warming for the Yankees.
Tough situation right here for Phil Hughes. 3-1. You know Hunter's hunting a fastball. Phil Hughes, you can give him that cut fastball in the outer half, see if maybe be a little bit over aggressive and roll one over. Tough pitch here.
3-1. Came in, straight heat, fouled it away, and it's 3-2.
You can see Torrey's disappointed. He had a fastball to hit there, fouled it off, had a good swing. Take another look at the swing. Banking that he's going to get a fastball. He gets it right down the middle, and he just got beat. You don't see that very often. Tempting situation right here if you're Jorge Posada behind the plate. Torrey Hunter has not seen the curveball at all. You feel like if Phil Hughes can drop a curveball for a strike, you can get a strikeout. And Jorge has not seen how that curveball has been acting tonight because it's been pretty much all fastballs.
So Hunter hasn't seen it, Hughes hasn't thrown it, which makes it a little bit of a conundrum for Posada. Does he go to it? You hang a curveball, all of a sudden it's 5-3. And the 3-2. On the fastball out of the zone, and the bases are loaded and nobody is out. So Phil Hughes is working himself into quite a jam. And Dave Island will go talk things over.
We'll take a look at the pitch by pitch of Torrey Hunter. Fastball misses. Swing and a miss. Good fastball. Another one misses down. Off the plate away. And here's a good swing from Torrey Hunter. Fouls it off. Another fastball fouled off. And he goes with another fastball that's down, ball 4. Seen power, fastballs this whole inning. You wonder if Phil Hughes may be overthrowing a little bit.
So let's see if he can extricate himself from this this jam. Bobby Abreu's at third. That's the tying run. The pinch runner, Terry Evans, is at second, and Torrey Hunter is at first. And Kendry Morales in the MVP conversation steps in. And Hughes does not have the command that he normally does. He's not throwing strikes. Count 1-0.
Kind of falling off towards the Yankee dugout a little bit more than usual, and the control not there.
No 1-0. Fouled away. 1-1. Hughes blew a save early last week. Gave up a leadoff home run in the 8th inning to Jason Bartlett. Yankees ended up coming back and winning that game. That was the first time Hughes really faltered as a reliever in a big way. And he's gotten himself into trouble right now on the precipice of faltering again. 1-1. This could be a double play. There's one. On to first. It is a double play, and the game is tied. No RBI for Morales, but the run scores. It's now 3-3.
Well, the run scores, but that's a huge double play for Phil Hughes. And check out the location. It's another fastball. It's away. Morales just hits a tailor-made double play ball right to Derek Jeter. The score is going to be tied, but if you're the Yankees, you'll take this double play. You'll trade the run for 2 outs. See if he can finish off the inning with no more damage.
Well, they're going to send Howie Kendrick up to pinch hit for the catcher, Bobby Wilson. And that scares the Yankees. Why? In his career against the Yankees, he has 45 hits and 99 at-bats. That's 465. 465. Pitch is low. This is the first time since July 17th, so a couple of months ago, that Hughes has allowed 3 base runners in an outing. So it's 3-3 here in the 8th. Runner at third. Foul back.
Kendrick, always a guy who can hit the ball to right center, has a nice stroke the other way, and the Yankees have tried to pound him in the past, but they never seem to get that pitch inside off the plate. When he's fault balls off to right center, when he throw anything out over, he drills it to right center.
He has a 9-game hitting streak, 16 for 32 over the 9 games. Line right at Teixeira. So they had him played perfectly, hit the ball hard. So Hughes struggles and gives up the lead. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 3-3. Yankees Baseball on Yes is brought to you in part by Acura. Acura Advance. The new ballpark looks great here on a Monday night. Another big crowd on hand. And a good ball game. 3-3, bottom of the 8th inning. Johnny Damon leads off. Jared Weaver still in there. And a high fly ball. Shallow right. And Abreu will put it away. 1 down. Hey, Yankee fans, now you can get live Yes Network games on your PCs or laptops. If you're an Optimum Online and IOTV customer who watches Yes, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and sign up for your subscription now. Here's Teixeira. And there's a strike. Count 0-2.
Jared Weaver has done a nice job in this ballgame keeping that pitch count under control. 105 here with 1 out in the 8th inning.
Jason Bulger warming.
Weaver has thrown 119 pitches in a couple of ball games this year, so the Angels will stretch him out a little bit.
The 0-2. Line down the right field line. It is a base hit. It'll go into the seats for a ground rule double. A single, a double, and a triple for Mark Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira, one of the few guys who has figured out Jared Weaver. See Napoli setting up inside. It gets a curveball down and in. Mark drills it to right field. Yankees probably catch a break right here, hitting the top of the wall, ending up in the seats. Bobby Abreu is trying to size it up for a strong throw into second base. Does not get the opportunity. Check out the swing again. Lefty's loving that ball down and in. He just dropped the bat head. Good extension.
So Butcher talks things over with Weaver. You see the number 34 patch? That's in memory of Nick Aidenhart, Angels' young pitcher who died in a tragic car accident in Anaheim. Jared, whenever he takes the mound, writes NA on the backside of the mound before he throws a pitch for Nick Aidenhart.
See how Weaver plays this at bat. 107 pitches on the night. Talked about it before the game. Alex Rodriguez, good numbers off of Weaver in his career. He's 0 for 2 with a walk. First base is open.
Alex has 23 go-ahead hits this season. Sporting 84 runs batted in, hitting .286.
Wouldn't expect Weaver to give in right here. You probably see a lot of pitches off the plate. If Alex Rodriguez wants to expand, Weaver will let him. Lefty warming up in the Angels bullpen. Hideki Matsui on deck as Mariano Rivera looking on. Again, wouldn't expect Alex Rodriguez to get anything to hit here. 2-0.
Breaking ball. 2-1.
2-0 curveball in a good spot. Down and away. Alex Rodriguez took a chance he was going to get a hanger. He did not.
And they are really staying away from him in the count 3-1. Well, that wasn't intentional, but it was close. So Alex Rodriguez works his second walk of the night. And Mike Scioscia wants Napoli to stall, giving his relievers a little more time with Matsui due up. He's got one other lefty other than his closer. It's Darren Oliver. And that's who's throwing right now. After the final out, Bob Lorenz is back in the studio for the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame, featuring analysis and highlights from this game and a look at the current league standings. Plus, Kimberly Jones has a reaction from the clubhouse into the WB Mason postgame. It's only on this. Well, Weaver does not look pleased as he sees Scioscia coming out to the mound. Did a nice job. So Scioscia will take the ball from Weaver. And you can see Weaver wanted to go 16-5. He can't win this game. He can lose it. They turn it over to Oliver. Oliver against Matsui when we get back. Had a big day yesterday, and he's hoping to recreate that tonight.
He had 5 RBIs in yesterday's game. This was his 24th home run of the year. Left on left, a 3-run shot. He'll be facing the lefty Darren Oliver.
Now, lefties don't exactly scare Matsui, because you see Oliver's numbers. Matsui has 24 homers, 11 against lefties. In the last 20 years, only one left-handed batter has had more home runs against lefties in a season, and that was Tino Martinez back in '97 when he hit 12.
Home runs against righties, 11 against lefties, as we have a pinch runner for Mark Teixeira, Brett Gardner. So Joe Girardi going for it right here.
A little strange move, taking out one of your best hitters in a tie game, and also really good defensively. We'll see how it plays out. Now, we told you before that the Angels have great arms in the outfield, so they want to make sure that the runner at second can score.
Corey Hunter in center field, shading Hideki Matsui to right center. A little surprising, left on left. You would expect Oliver to pitch away from Matsui. The left center field gap wide open. Good slider down and away. Ooh, ended up off the plate. Darrell Cousins, another questionable call. Hideki Matsui reacting from the overhead shot. It didn't look like it was close.
So Teixeira out of the game now, a spectator, as the Yankees try to move ahead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-3 game, each team with 8 hits. Gardner goes. Throw to third is. Goes into left field. And the strategy pays off. Alex Rodriguez will go to third. He's in there. And the Yankees lead 4-3.
What a weapon this could be for the New York Yankees. Brett Gardner coming off the bench. I mean, tonight's ballgame has that playoff atmosphere, a lot of mix and matching and strategies. Gardner gets a great jump. Napoli with a pretty decent throw, but Figgins not a real good effort. Got to make sure you keep that ball in front of you. The throw up the line a little bit, but Figgins not able to make the play. Brett Gardner will score easily. Napoli not known as a strong defensive catcher, but the throw not that bad.
Double steal E2 as the Yankees take the lead. Infield comes in now with a runner at third and one out. The 1-2. 2-2. As fast as Gardner is, I wonder if you got the same read, John. Good throw, he gets him.
Good throw, he gets him, yeah. It wasn't a terrible throw. It looked like Figgins kind of gave a little alligator arms. Didn't do a good job of keeping that ball in front, even if you don't get the out.
And Matsui with a big strikeout. 2 away.
Well, I like how aggressive Brett Gardner is. I mean, if he gets thrown out, it's a terrible play. But your job when you go in there to pinch run, make something happen. And if a good throw was there on the bag, he would have been out. But that's what speed does. It causes you to rush a little bit. Figgins just doesn't do a good job making sure he keeps that ball in front.
So they will intentionally walk Posada to pitch to the lefty swinging Cano. And Rivera will pitch the ninth. So an intentional walk to Posada.
Robinson Cano, good numbers against Oliver. 5 for 7 in his career. Brett Gardner still enjoying his stolen base. Go-ahead run. Cano's got to feel pretty good about this matchup. 5 for 7.
Seems Scioscia's very hands-on, and he's trying to move the defense. He doesn't want. So Guzman is going to a pinch run for Posada. So now they'll bring in Molina behind the plate in the 8th inning. We'll check that in the 9th.
Well, unusual. You have a lead to pinch run for Posada, but Guzman, they've been talking about his speed. They probably want to see what he's going to do. Morales not even holding him on at first base. You would expect him to run at some point.
He could be on the postseason roster because they acquired him by August 31st. He wasn't on the 25-man, but with injuries you could always maneuver. Both managers using their bolstered benches or guys on the bench after September 1st. And the 0-1. Ground ball up the middle, a base hit. Guzman was going. He'll move to third. Scoring is A-Rod. An RBI single for Cano. And the Yankees lead 5-3.
Robinson Cano now 6 for 8 against Darren Oliver. So a lot of confidence for him going into this at bat. See Napoli setting up down and away. It's a slider out over, but it kind of goes across the plate, not down. Robinson stays on it, drives it right back up the middle. See Guzman, who can really run, gets at third base easily. That's his turn around second base, kicks it into another gear.
Freddie Guzman is at third. He had 45 stolen bases in the minors this year. And that's what he gives the Yankees. So they keep Oliver in to face Swisher batting from the right side. So the Yankees doing to the Angels what the Angels usually do to the Yankees, pushing the envelope, making the defense make plays. And in this case, the Angels did not make the plays. And the Yankees have broken this 3-3 tie. 0-2 count. Yankees are leading 5-3. Almost got Cano leaning. And the pitch. Blocked by Napoli.
Swisher's had a good night, a home run, a double, 2 for 3 with a strikeout, an opportunity here, 2-out RBI opportunity.
And the 1-2 outside, 2-2. Oliver gets the sign. And the pitch. Swung on a miss, so he strikes out Swisher. But the Yankees take the lead. And they do it with some old-fashioned speed. First, Mark Teixeira doubles. Then they pinch run Gardner for Teixeira. He takes off for third. Napoli's throw ends up in left field. And the Yankees end up with a lead. Wow. As we go to the ninth inning, time to announce the Chevy Player of the Game as voted on by you, the fans, and the two of us here in the booth.
Your Chevy Player of the Game, Mark Teixeira, started it off his first at bat with a base hit to right field. Then he had the big triple with 2 outs. Drove in a couple of runs, would have been a catcher's interference, but drives it off the center field wall. And then his last at bat, he finishes it off with a double to right field. Gets pinch run for, but that would eventually be the go-ahead run that Brett Gardner ran for Mark Teixeira, your Chevy Player of the Game.
And now they turn it over to Mariano. Some changes for the Yankees. You see Mariano's numbers as he tries to pick up his 40th save. Gardner stays in the game in center. Melky moves from center to right. Swisher from right to first, and Molina is catching. And they'll catch Mariano Rivera. Eric Ibar leads off. Beginning of a tough stretch for the Angels. This is the first of 14 out of their final 20 against 3 of the top American League teams, the Yankees, the Rangers, and the Red Sox.
Mariano, 35 straight converted saves. It's a career high for him.
Shattered bat, the ground ball to Swisher. 1 out. After the final out, you got to stick around for Bob Lorenz. He's back in the studio for the Emmy-winning WB Mason postgame. He'll have analysis, highlights from this game, and also a look at the current league standings. It's a big, big game right here for best record in baseball. Plus, Kimberly Jones will have the reaction from the clubhouse. It's the WB Mason postgame. It's only on Yes.
Well, you know, Bob's going to talk about the biggest part of this ball game, the top of the 8th inning, when Phil Hughes got himself into some trouble. Back-to-back base hits and then a walk to Torrey Hunter, but got a big double play, gave up a run to tie the ball game, but was able to work his way out of a big-time jam.
Gary Matthews Jr. takes a strike. He pinch hit for Jeff Mathis in the 7th and walked. Yankees are leading 5-3. Mariano's last 31 games, that's since June 16th, 31 innings pitched, 32 strikeouts, 14 hits, 7 walks, an ERA of 0.29. He's given up 1 run in 31 games.
Jr. just guessing which side of the play Mariano's going to go. He guessed wrong on that one. Looking for a cutter inside. It ended up on the outside half of the plate. He had a weak swing.
2-2. Yankees trying to win 2 in a row. Yankees trying to go 41 games over 500. Jabba started. He pitched 4 innings, actually 40 effective innings, giving up 1 run. And the count is 3-2. Then turned it over to Alfredo Aceves, who turned it over to Phil Coke. Coke handed it off to Phil Hughes, and Phil Hughes could actually get the win after blowing the save. And Mariano trying to get the save. Right back to Rivera. The Yankees run on the way. This is Mo's first appearance since Tuesday, September 8th. So almost a week. Well rested. For a while, the Yankees were nervous about the groin problem, but he said he's fine. And that leaves it up to Sean Figgins. Certainly it's hard to say Figgins is a GOAT, but he did not make the proper play at third on the throw by Napoli. Couldn't keep the ball in the infield and really should have been able to catch the ball and make the tag on Gardner. The whole game changed right there. Strike to Figgins.
Mariano's had a lot of time off. You mentioned the rest, Michael, but he looks sharp tonight. Good action on the cutter, more importantly, good location. Check out the cut on the fastball. It's nice action, just missing off the inside corner.
Tied him up. Well, a paid crowd of 44,701. Remember, there's a makeup of a rainout. So in the ballpark, 30,070. A lot of them standing, looking for the final strike. Just missed outside.
Went inside with a few cutters, tried back door. Doesn't get it to come back to the corner.
Mo looking for strikeout number 999 in his career. Not in this game. That was fouled away. Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Yankees lead by 2. Rivera trying to nail it down. Molina jumped out as if he was going to congratulate Rivera, but Darryl Cousins did not give him the strike call, so now it's 3-2.
Well, this is a pitch you're used to seeing Mariano Rivera get. Jose Molina jumps up. He thought it was strike 3. Home plate umpire Darryl Cousins does not give Mariano the call.
Higgins thought it was strike 3. He was headed to the dugout. The 3-2 pitch. Rip foul. This homestand for the Yankees, they've won their first 4 against Tampa Bay. They won 1 out of 3 against Baltimore, so they're 5-2. Looking to go 6-2, have 2 more games remaining. 3-2 pitch. And Higgins works a walk to keep it alive for the Angels.
Take a look at the pitch by pitch. Inside with a cutter, strike 1. Next one misses off the plate. Another cutter inside, a weak swing. Tried back door, misses. Go back inside again, foul ball. Back door and looked like strike 3. Didn't get the call. Another cutter pulled foul, and then ball 4.
Now here's Meister Istúriz. And the count 1-0. Nick Swisher is holding Sean Higgins at first so that they could get the force at second on a grounder.
Obviously opens up that hole a little bit for Istúriz, trying to pull a ball between first and second.
A-Rod on the grass at third. 0-1-0. Strike. And the pitch. Again, the Angels down to their final strike. Nip and tough ball game in what could be a preview of a possible American League Championship Series matchup. Yankees and the Angels. Yankees lead 5-3. 1-2 count, 2 outs. Istúriz spoils that one. Yankees have won 2 of the 6 games so far this year. They have 3 more games left with the Angels in Anaheim next Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Runner goes 1-2, just missed. So Higgins takes second on defensive indifference. On deck is the dangerous Bobby Abreu. You want to take care of Istúriz. The pitch. He foul tipped it, I guess. Yes, he foul tipped it. Molina said he did not, but Darryl Cousins said he did.
Molina setting up away. It ends up middle in. Tough to tell if he fouled it off. It looked like Jose Molina did not think he did.
He would be the one who would know.
His reaction tells you all you need to know going for the tag after strike 3.
Another 2-strike pitch from Rivera. Right back to Rivera. This should do it. And the Yankees win 5-3. In the ninth inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. And Mariano Rivera records his 40th save, 7th time in his career. He's had at least 40 saves, but the first time since 2005.